Yes, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, depending on where you are residing. This is Good Governance Hour. We are here again to consider the forthcoming election in Anambra State. Uh, Coming by November 8th this year, just like we used to discuss before the previous days. Today we have Henry, the PRO of GGM. He will be here to do justice to the topic of today, which is education. We are looking at education system in Anambra State. Of course, we'll be considering other states in Southeast. With us here again is Nkiru, who is promoting George Moore at the Labour Party person. We'll be inviting other people as they come in, we introduce them. Meanwhile, we'll have other followers on our other social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, you know. I'll be taking their message as time goes on. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Okay, Lucy, Queen is here today, Queen from Lagos. So, like I said, here I about today about our education. Everybody knows the importance of education in our life, in the economic development or growth of any society. Yes, before the coming of white men, our people were educated, quite educated. O nwere ike people eche nọ sọsọ ndị maara asụ oyibo na ndị maara ede ife n'ọfanwa gụrụ akwụkwọ. But as some people in the village, they will always have this thing, ka ị gụrụ akwụkwọ, ịgụkwala uche. And the passing sees abroad passing sense. So this ndị gboo na-atụ n'inu ọdụ deep in area like this ịfụ na ọdụ deep because over time I've noticed that na ọbụrụ ndị na-eje conference akwụkwọ also na conference present a paper present a paper enye solution, you know. But once you give that person the opportunity to be the chairman of his ụmụnna, all that time he assess the quality of his education, the content of his education. That education, paper presentation or seminar presentation, is just mere reading of all those things. At times, the person may not be the author of that paper he has presented. But the key thing is the application of knowledge. How many of us are applying the knowledge we've learned either in school, training, or workplace, you know? My summation this evening is that the application is low, and that is why our society has not moved forward as expected. You can see it all over you, around you. Yes, we are discussing education from nursery school to primary school, secondary school, tertiary education. If we get it right from nursery school, primary school, of course, the society will be a better place. But I think we've not just gotten it wrong. Sorry, we've not getting it right. So what could be the cause? What is the problem? These are the things we'll be looking at. And I will start by asking my dear brother, Henry, to make his own submission, greet our people, and then make your submission. And then dive into what is the problem of our education in Anambra State, elsewhere in the Southeast. Henry, you have the microphone.
Okay. Good evening, viewers. Thanks for having me. I'm still my humble self, Mr. Henry Borg, the PRO of Good Governance Ministry. Mr. Andy, thanks for giving me this opportunity to highlight and escalate some of the contentious issues when it comes to education in Anambra State. But before I will deep dive into some of the challenges we're having currently, we need to look at where we were before, where we are now, and where we are supposed to be. So if you look at the deliverables so far in education, should I say under the current administration, is a kind of a roller coaster for me. You wouldn't say they have flopped totally, and you wouldn't say that they have actually, meet up to the expectation of you and I, as it were. So looking at what they have done so far, we are not unaware of some of the strides of the current administration. Soludo has employed 8,000 teachers. They've been able to, I'm aware, I spoke with the Commissioner of Planning, Madam Chiamaka, the other day. She shared to me the number of 22 number of smart schools they are doing currently, which is okay. Then the the current government under Soludo, they've introduced free education. And these are some of the deliverables one could point and say, yes, okay, that you could see some changes. Then on the other side, in the last 2-3 years or so, Anambra students, our teachers, they perform well in national competition. I think I'm aware we were able to win 1 or 2 laurels in the last 2 years on the education. So all these things speaks to some kind of activity under this government. But we need to begin to ask ourselves the pertinent questions. Is it where we are supposed to be as a people? Is it the kind of position Anambra is supposed to be when it comes to education? Because I can tell us education is one very important aspect. That is the only key. Societies who invest more in education, it's always easier for them to stay away from poverty. So when you look at what we've done, where we are, and what we're supposed to do, there's our performance in education is still a far cry. Because when you look at, let me use a state like Enugu, let me isolate Enugu. Just last year, 2025, this year, 2025, Governor Peter Mba was able to devote, even surpass UNESCO standard, which is 25%. He allocated 30% to education. What does it show? It shows a system that is very intentional and deliberate about education. What it then means that for what they set out, they want to do, they know they have 260 wards in Enugu State. The government of Peter Mba is planning to establish 260 smart schools. And I can tell us they've attained up to 40% completion in some of these deliverables. And outside that, they introduce what they call experiential learning. What does it do? This concept is a concept that tends to divide the bridge between the halves, the children of the poor and the children of the rich. There's no demarcation. All of them will come together to be taught on STEM. All of us know what is STEM. STEM is the end term now. So societies that are very intentional and deliberate about education, they invest so much in STEM. And you could see that with what they are doing, this deliberate and intentional strategy towards education, there's no way anyone will not take the center stage in Southeast or even Nigeria. So let me just move away from Enugu and focus on our state. So when we come to Anambra, we could see that what Enugu is doing, you could see the pattern, you could see the pattern, you could predict where they are going, and you could also use that thing they are doing to make a projection and say in XYZ number of years, this XYZ number of people would have been educated under so year. So this is kind of performance we expect from the solution team. So we are thinking that when it comes to Anambra, beyond what Soludo has done, because it's not just enough to recruit 8,000 teachers. What are the student to teacher ratio? The global standard is 1 teacher to 40 people. Do we have that in Anambra State? What are the level of infrastructure? The 22, we have up to the best of my knowledge, 1,000 secondary school and primary school combined in Anambra State. So what is the percentage of these people? 22 out of 1,000. You could see that it's just like our state should be able to, not like we're going into two, we should be able to sit down and devise a strategy, devoting a substantial amount of our budgeting on education and some of the support structure that will help us to be able to reflect and educate as much as possible, because what the people will be training is going to be the brain gain of tomorrow. My comrade, let me just punctuate for now and allow us to contribute so we can discuss further. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother Henry. If you've just you've told us all we need to know about education in Anambra State. You made reference to Enugu as a way of comparing what Enugu has been able to do or to achieve within 30 months period. Soludo is 43 months, 43 to 44 months in office. Enugu has been able to achieve a lot within 2 years, and in fact, he has surpassed so many expectations. He will go far, so I need not say more. Nkiru, I na here. Nkiru bụ street person and the voice of the voiceless. Nkiru is also on the street. Nkiru na-afụ ụmụaka na-aga school na-enweta feedback from them, because just like I said, some of us ya nọ n'elu na-asụ oyibo na-make references, na-dish out statistics, but when you move to the grassroots, you will discover that those things are na-ekwu. Like Henry said, that Soludo has started building smart schools. And he spoke with the Commissioner of Economic Planning, Chi Amaka, who told him that Anambra has started. Maybe I can't remember any figure or number, whether Anambra has completed 1 or 2 or 3, 35 smart schools. And what is the standard like, or what is the content? Because when you talk about smart school, you have to first is electricity. If you don't have it from our main source, you have solar, but electricity has to be there 24 hours. That is one component of smart school. If any school will be smart, the electricity supply must be there for 24 hours. So nobody has been able to tell us as per how far this solution government has gone on that. And I've not seen one. Somebody told me that one secondary school in my community, Ideg Secondary School is already smart, but I can't see any smartness in any sense of it. Apart from calling it smart or renovating 1 or 2 buildings there and buying 20 computers there, that does not make it smart. So if that is a smart school to solution government standard, I will say that that's smartness or smart school, if I want to assess it by percentage, is still less than 30%, as in the quality of the smart school. So Nkiru, let me give you opportunity as somebody that is partisan here, You're expected to rubbish everything Soludo has done. Of course, promote your person of what your person will do when he comes in. Dalo.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, my fellow comrade, and everywhere you are listening to my voice. I remain Nkiruka. Biko, abịa na education. Education bụ isi. Prọfesọ Soludo bụ mmadụ kụzieli ya. Ọkwụnụ ma minus education. N'ụwa na-emepe kịta sayentist. Na a na-eme production a na-enwe injiniarịn ndị a na-alụ ụzọ minus education o nwere ebe eji azụ and ihe mere expect from him eche na nyanwa being professor n'ọma the meaning of education n'ọma ihe pụtara ihe ego na mmụta dị mana anya fụrụ ya n'ime like ịbịa na Anambra kịta ọ sị na onye go free education mana ka m gwa gị ịbịa n'Igbo ugwu ụmụ akwụkwọ ka na-agụ akwụ ụgwọ akwụkwọ then inye free education jegodu na schools ụmụ akwụkwọ na so many secondary school enwere lọka eche na ịchọ ime free education ime anya ma ụmụ akwụkwọ nya ịpụta fụ nwata akwụkwọ ọ dị ka mmadụ then onye nkụzi ego one ka ị na-akwụ onye nkụzi ọ ga-eji nwa obi wee kụzi unu fụ na Burkina Faso kwa unu fụ otu the president si wee fụ onye kụzi bulie wee sị minus na onye akụzi na ha ama mbụ ihe abụta and they believe seeing is believing then ọ bụ onye Catholic student the motor see George and Art ka Soludo bata ka ihe mee na udo zighara ụlọ akwụkwọ dịka enwe ebe a na-amụ ụlọ aka ma na talent dị iche ọ bụkwa onye ọbụla ga-ama ka esi ede ịpụta nenekwenye ka eji enwe guiding and counselor na school ịpụta ịmara ebe onyinye onye dị itinye ịlụ ama vocational nya this my school nya ịlụ ọtụtụ ihe ọ bụrụ onye ọbụla bụ apụta owelu chọkụ ba classroom ba mana ibido n'oge kwadolu nwatakịrị ihe ọ ga-abụ ọnya bụ education ịga so many secondary school jee ebe niile ilu ọdịka Enugu na-abịa ifo na kọmputa desi ndị nkụzi one ka ebunye kọmputa mịa fọdụ ụmụ akwụkwọ jegodu mana biology lab mana chemistry lab gwazia m ihe dị ebe a ọkwa mgbe enene WAEC ọkwa unu nọ na mgbe a na-enene WAEC ss3 ọkwa ejicha ọkụ touch wee nene exam n'ime abalị nke a bụ education ọ kwesịrị ime ihe ọ dị standard maka na ọ gụrụ akwụkwọ and ụmụ ya ahụ na-apụ otu ọ na-apụ ọ ka mma n'otu obodo ndị ọzọ si eme so for me o nwere ihe just ihe o mere na education ba na Anambra bụ the more you look the lesser you understand the evil game ha na-play mana George Moghalu pụta Dr. George Moghalu bi na running mate ya makwa ihe dị na education onye ọbụla ma mgbe ọ handle ndị principal na Anambra all the principal na Anambra State then nyanwa gwa gị vocational school ọ gwa gị technology ọkwa ya then ịgbago from ebe a ebe ọbụla nke onye ma gịnị itinye ịbịa na technology ebe ọbụla olulu onye itinye anyị esizie na consumption baa na production oke jee na all the technical school dị na Anambra kedu nke ome skuulu dịbu ebe ahụ adị kedu ihe ome oke ọ na-ekwu education now ịpụta ife ụmụaka na-agaghalịcha lụcha fonu ma ndị lụcha filling station excuse me ma ndị lụcha fuel station.
All right. Queen, you can make your contribution, please. Or you can kill on one call. Queen, are you with us?
So I continue. So ịmago ndị anụnwa na-ebu fon agagharị ọkwa ịmara ha nchabe na gọọmenti aka pik ha up ndị alụcha filin steshọn gọọmenti epiki ha bido nyasị ebe a bunitefa ibunitefa ịzụ afa ịzụkwa afa fewazụ ụta inyefe ife ha kwesịrị ịmụta ọnya bụ part of education and ọnya bụ teknọlọji oke education now ije anyị nwee poli nwechi ụmụ tertiary institution a iruo na polytechnic ọkwa gwa m equipment ọ bụrụ na edukeshọn ya bi n'otu ọ bụ ọkammụta na ihe nke eji ewe m iwe ọ sị na ọ bụ ọkammụta mmadụ na mmadụ nwee fee na English fee nkewa oke nyanwa ma everything ịmakwa ihe ọkame bụ oje na higher institutions a na oje na dipatmenti ọbụla o tinyelufe ife kwesịrị na ụzọ ọnụnwa a na-alụ a na-ego ndị mmadụ o kwesịrị ka ego ndị mmadụ ị ga-eji ndị nke ahụ ịzụta na steeti gị testi amụ ịlụ ụzọ ị ga-eji ndị nke ahụ imeta na steeti gị nya febido produce bụ ife ị ga-eji ndị nke ahụ ịlụta na skuul na steeti gị febido n'oge bụrụ from consumption to production ma fon onwe ife ndị be anyị nwee brain mana ọnya ka Dr. George Moghalu ma ifi okaro jisi unu na ha gbagote mee gịnị na edukeshọn ihe niile a bụ sector by sector ịghọta na ụmụaka na-alụ ya ga-epiki nwatakịrị onye na-eme ihe ipiki enye ịmala ebe talent ya dị tinye with and ọ ga-ediscuss with ma ndị anọ na senate res ihe ọbụla eweta a ga-enye ndị ọbụla ihe nke ha wee je mee skuul fa local gọọmenti ije n'ime obodo ọkwa ịma na a na-enwebe adult education na skuul ọkwa ha si na a na-awipe anything ile ebee ka ọ ka dị na Anambra State there was a time ọbịa adult education mana na ebee ka ọ dịzi ihe a na-eme bụ agụlagụ alụrụ alụ kama egosizie onye gị klip anye gị ihe si gị na one man two skill na education ọ bụrụ eziokwu vacation ụmụaka ga-ebido ma ịlụ shoe ma ịlụ slippers ma imebe akpa onye ọbụla ebido n'oge mana ebe talent o nwere onye ga na-agba 0 na skuulu 30 out of 30 mana ọ bụrụ na na-ebia ọdịka na ọ malia na eletrikal na ọ ga-abụ eletrician efu ihe anyị kụziere ya na skuul ịbịa na dati ya anyanwụ agba first efu na ebe talent ya dị maka ekele ọlụ eke George Moghalu si na ọ gbagote n'otu a ka ọ ga-esi mee ife. I rest my case.
All right, my dear sister Kiro, thank you. The voice of the voiceless. I'm Otimbu George Moghalu. Anyway, my own contribution there bụ na a na-ekwu okwu ọ na-atọ ụtọ. Onye si na ọ bata na ọ ga-eme nke na ọ ga-eme nke ọ ga-eme nke. The whole thing in Nafo ebe all this is a na-ekwu bụ it boils down on the character of the individual. You got to go because enwere ofu onye masị ife niile sọsọ ya. What government does is to organize. Government has a lot of capacity, a lot of, in fact, government where everything working for all noble money for him. Government can organize, can bring together devil, good, and evil, round the table and have discussion. Just for one thing, to achieve desired goal for the betterment of overall, for the society, of generality of the people. But for me, for now, what I've seen is that it is government of the cabal. It is the government of the elites. It is the government of the few people. Now in Anambra State, if you criticize Mr. Solution or Mr. Governor, he will pick offense, take offense, and will classify you as the enemy. There was a time, myself, I was criticizing government policy on taxation when he imposed certain fee on Keke na Pepe people. I stood against it. I wrote against it. I spoke against it. The key members of government then saw me as opposition, like this guy is working for P2B. But everybody knew or still knows that I am for good governance, public interest, defending the interest of the common people, the voiceless in the society. That even when I was defending Soludo, spending my money to defend Mr. Soludo or Mr. Governor, that Soludo has never given me pure water. But I was defending him, believing that he will represent the interest of the masses. So when I now criticize him, his people started seeing me as an enemy, not the enemy of the government. Can you see how things have gotten so bad in the society, even among the educated, among the elders? Ndị a na-enegala anya, ndị ahụ na-agụ akwụkwọ. Remember, you anyị na-discuss maka education. But to this behavioral pattern, ogosi na such person gụrụ akwụkwọ. Because onye gụrụ akwụkwọ criticize, I will defend the own way. If you ism that this thing, say yes, I'm doing this is why I'm doing it. Perhaps if I'm not doing good there, if I'm not performing okay there, I will look for alternative. I can see Henry is better than me when it comes to presentation, even on writing skills. He's better than me there. But I'm good in figures. I'm good on economic analysis. I'm just good on my figures. That is where I have comparative advantage. So you mustn't have everything. So nigga school bụ ka akụziere gị akwụkwọ ka ị welie wee solve problem done around you. In Anambra State, we have a virgin market. And we pay anything at all, MLM. Anything. When I'm na see, most times in girls' school like this, I sympathize with people. I pity. Before I say no, mama go, but even I go, but well, with what I'm seeing here, goodness. I go primary school, go secondary school. Even when I know background here, if I have money, I send you outside Nigeria as a good governance person. But I wasn't thinking like that. But the person that is giving me a sign or small hope to begin to change my mind is Mba. Because if you look at his public service delivery, it's top notch. In fact, you look at his speech 2 days ago. The guy spoke from his heart. Even if you don't trust politicians, you say it's 419. Can he sustain that? Let's watch him and see how far he goes after 3 years. But that speech, he spoke, like I said, from his heart. Because the business of governance is just to maximize the welfare and secure the society. And in doing that, you have to attach some degree of emotional connection with the people. You have to do it so that people will be on the same page with you, on the same. If you have all the plans in the world and you cannot communicate you cannot pass your message to the next person, you are not saying or doing anything. So what I'm saying is that our education here, right here in Anambra State, is still not, and I said if I have to score, I'll score Mr. Solution below 30 marks or 30%. The rating that came out last time, Anambra got at the 33 or 31st position, even though the government officials were still faulting how that decision was arrived at. But whether 31st or 15th position or 10th position, the fact remains that Anambra used to be at first position before now. So, in conclusion, this present administration has to do a lot, and that is between now and the 31st of 18th of March next year, because we don't know what will happen after March 18th. Nobody is certain that Soludo will win this coming election. If he wins, good, he goes in. But for now, I am not yet satisfied with what I'm seeing. That is much I can say. Queen, if you are not there to talk, Henry, you can come in to make your further submission. Thank you.
Okay, comrade, good evening. Thanks again for having me. In order to throw more light on what the issue we are discussing, which is education in Anambra State, vis-a-vis the election, we actually focusing on education, but then we also talk about election. So let me even talk about this election to some extent before I pivot back to education, which is our mainstay of discussion this evening. So, for me, I'm not too happy with the level of campaign and electioneering towards November 8, 2025. The parties that are supposed to participate in the election, they disappointed in the Anambra by not giving us what I will say are the best of options. So if you look at what is happening, if you look at the anatomy of this election, one, you could see that it is not issue-based. The candidates are not ready to confront the incumbent. So it's like this election, from all indication, is a deja vu. People will have their own opinion, but when you sample, go out in the field to sample opinion in terms of the incumbency factor, the money that will flow, and the illiterate nature of the people that do the election, you understand what is likely to be the outcome of the election. So, but that's the beauty of democracy. It's a game of number. So what I'm thinking we can do subsequently, because I don't think we have enough time, some other elections, parties should, as much as possible, be mindful of people they are presenting as candidates for the Anambra to choose. Because we can't continue to have it this way. We are not happy. I'm not personally pleased that Soludo is like almost on autopilot, cruising without, there is no strong opposition. The opposition is in disarray. Forget what is happening in the last 2 or 3 days. I've never seen, it has never happened before that a sitting governor will be running away with the election is there to happen, that even some parties, PDP, could not field a candidate. It has never happened before. So for me, in as much as our state is growing democratically, we are not doing too well, because they say the absence of democracy is the presence of despot. All of us are see what is happening already. The current governor has this air of invincibility.
Henry, your network is bad.
I believe that the party should have shown love for our state by giving us people that can give Soludo a run for his money. And unfortunately, hello, please confirm you can hear me.
Hello, we can't hear you.
Hello. Can you hear
I'm
me now?
hearing little.
The network is bad.
Can you hear me
Eh?
now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So, like I was saying before, I was still on the candidates that
Yes.
are up for election. I would have thought that the party would have given us better options in able to extract, because we want to see issue-based campaign. We want to look at the manifestos of the contestants. We want to look at their visioning, and we want to look at how they're able to. We want to see what they will do differently from the governor. So far, we've not seen much of this. All we have seen in the last 2-3 weeks was what we call mudslinging, economy. And thank God that the reason has prevailed. We have been able to reset them. They are now back to issue based, even though they look as if we are forcing them. That one aside. So let me go back to education we're discussing. Can somebody still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Henry.
Okay, yeah. So just like I said, Asimba, if you look at, and our sister has been able to touch on so many places that I feel like we need to get it right. So me, my own is just to add a little to what she has said. For us to be able to get it right in education, there are three critical strategies you must imbibe and you must use to make things happen in education is people, process, and time. One, the first thing the government needs to do as a matter of agency is to build a dedicated team, bottom up, from from down to top, a team of dedicated workers that really call education a priority. Then develop a template that can work and fund our education in a way that will get results like what is happening in Enugu State. Can somebody hear me? Hello? Hello?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Henry, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So I'm of the opinion that, so like Enugu did, the first thing we need to do is to look at our curriculum. What are the kind of graduates? Are we producing people that are employable? How does our curriculum look like? Are we doing garbage in, garbage out? Are our education addressing the current need? Because you could see that the society is evolving. People are drifting from moving towards blockchain, crypto, and a lot of trendy topics that are game changing for any society that wants to grow. How are we responding to this? Or do we think that you just employ teachers, you don't even train the teachers? Some teachers don't even know some of them can't even handle computer. How are you able to expose people, prepare them for what we call experiential learning? Then you now begin to talk about, the culture. How are we even preparing our students? How do we incentivize them? Are there scholarship board? How do you bridge the gap between the children of the poor and the children of the rich? Is it possible for a son of nobody to be on the same class with the children of governors? Because that was used to happen before. They have scholarship board. Poor people, through your sheer intelligence, you're able to make it to the best schools. So these are some of the issues we need to look at before we can now say, okay, look at how we want to confront our curriculum, look at the funding, look at our team. These are the three categories of people that must come together to make sure that they deliver education to our people. Because we'll be tied in this society that will miss it educationally. That's all I can say for now. Thank you.
Henry, let me ask you, what is the budget of Anambra State this year on education to compare with the Enugu State?
Comrade Enugu, to the best of my knowledge, was able to budget up to 30% of their GP, and Enugu did almost 1 trillion. There we are on 954 billion. So when you talk about 30% of 900 billion, if I'm not mistaken, it should be around 350 billion. So that's a humongous amount of money to be dedicated to one major sector. You cannot begin to see the effects in terms of the smart school, the infrastructure they are putting in place, and the whole lot of ecosystem, because it's not just to populate everywhere with infrastructure. You must need to put in place supporting infrastructure like access to school, support feeding and taking care of the teachers. So this is some of the things that the whole package of the whole money, that 30% we are supposed to cater for. Then coming to our home state, I know Anambra did around 600 and something. It should be around between 610 and 640 billion. And to the best of my knowledge, we are not up to even 25%. And when you look at the 25%, that should be less than. So we now begin to talk about budget performance, because it's not enough to budget 1 trillion. How do your budget perform? And the last 2024, our budget performance was not encouraging. And in 2025 is not going to be different, judging what we are suing, because the emphasis now is on roads that even some of them have questionable quality. So it's a roller coaster for us. I don't think the optics are getting all that fantastic for us, even though you will not say that we have failed totally, but we need to do more. We want to see a detailed plan. We could say in the next 5 years, we are moving.
Network is bad again. Network.
Percentage illiteracy and move on. Okay, let me allow others. Let me allow others to.
Yes, Nkiru, yes, Nkiru. Nkiru, you can speak.
Hello, can you hear me? Somebody
yes,
hear me?
Harry.
Hello?
Hello. Are you here?
Yes, Nkiru, yes, I can hear you. Nkiru, you can speak. Nkiru, unmute and speak.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Biko ka m bidokwa n'ihe nwanne m nwoke kwu maka ndị na-azọ ọchịchị.
Okay.
Number 1, ịma na-abịa na ndị na-azọ ọchịchị na Anambra steeti. Unu for ka the system, INEC frustrate ndị mmadụ. Maka na there so many of the about how many political parties. Unu mana mgbe eme by election. Ọkwa unu fu otu akodo si wee bu ballot paper live. Unu fulu otu deputy governor na ụkọchukwu si wee zọ ebe a ga-ebuba ballot na ebe ama ndị be Soludo kpo ndị akodo ụkọchukwu kpo ndị amị. Then after that, unu fulu ụdị ego a na-eke. Okay, at the beginning, Owelu na steeti ọ na-abụ before pụta rally na-epụta for political something. Ego the sitting governor ga-ana unu akarịa 50 million
50
before
billion, 50 billion million, yes.
Before bịa
first
post again.
No, this is undemocratic. No, undemocratic. I scored Soludo 0 on that.
So ego onye afọ onye aje bie ga-emecha anya winie ihe ọ na-akụzila bụ corruption. Then again, afọ otu ụmụ ndị INEC and Soludo their way that the first registration eme na Anambra State. Unu bịa kwa na line. Ọ bụrụ na unu abụrụ ajụọ gị ma ịbụ onye APGA, esi enye gị fọm ifilie. Ọ bụrụ na esi na eburu onye APGA, ị ga-anọgide ebe ndị INEC agbachi gị nkịtị. Ewelu moto nya na-esi ha nni. Kedu na ụdị steeti ụdị ya ọkwa ọ na-achọ ka ọ frustrate ya ndị ọzọ. Ebe ọ ma na ihe ọ na-eme dị ma you should allow everybody onye chọọ register o register. Mana fọt ụmụ ndị INEC debela anyị isi aja aja. And the INEC na Anambra nya a ga-ajụ ha ajụ. Onye mesie ihe a, okay, most people bịanụ ndị registara ihe a na Anambra bụ aja dị n'anị. Eme ha sị gị na ha emechie. Could you believe na ije side Nkwele a na-register ihe n'azụ? Ịnọgide from morning till night. Ịma mme na ifu ndị ọzọ a na-ebubata iru akparọ and on one side na-register. Ha mere ya n'ihe ala, ha mere ya na so many places. Okay, last election. Could you believe na owe onye ndị aka odo ji ihe nya kụjiri aka the boy ka bụ bandage up to today because na ọ bụ onye Labour Party na-ebe kata ya ọ sị ya no, allow my people, allow everybody to register. Ndị aka odo kụjiri ya ụkwụ kụjiri ya aka then ije na ndị ịkpa abịa akwụ a na-enye ndị mmadụ ego wee na-erejista adị emecha o wee fanalụgo o wee nọmba fa ga-edelu somebody wee jee ka ọ mara ihe na-eme n'azụ ụlọ ndị akodo wee bịa manye ọgụ n'Ọka South. Who planted all those things? Soludo. Because Emma ọ dey-take correction a whole professor kedu ihe ọ na-akụzi ndị ọzọ. So ọ chọrọ frustrate so many people, all frustrate so many political parties, and all frustrate so many youth kpata na ndị troop ka ha register. Onye mezi osi ya will not go, my vote will not count. Nke afọ aga. Then abịa na this education a na-ekwu. O were ego budget ya n'ụzọ. Ọ rọpụzie na education bụ di ọkwa osi na Anambra ga-abụ Dubai Taiwan. Mecha were ọnụ ya sị kpalie ndị Anambra steeti Prọfesọ Chinua Achebe, Zik of Africa, then and other people. Then ọ sị na ihe eji ekwu bụ na ife na aghọtara n'ife na-ekwu bụ na education education bụ na Dubai Taiwan. Ehola Anambra na-eproduce professors. Okay, ka o mee free education a o melie eche na free education ma akwụkwọ eweta na library ebe ego bagụcha subject ọbụla a ga-ekuzi ebe iweli ya onye nkuzi were oke onye ọbụla emeche welụkwa jedebe na library. Then on one time ọ na-eme free education mana up to today handcraft bụ igote toilet roll gote bucket nke iwete depending ihe galon igote nya ka ị ga-aka nwe high mark. O mere education anya ọ bụrụ zero. Then ị bịa na school kịta anụa ije ifotu ụmụ akwụkwọ si eje akwụkwọ then ndị nkuzi mmadụ je ị na-akwụnye nwa 30,000 minimum wage ọkwa ewe mgbe agratinenta na ị ga-adịrị asị oke. Ị na-eme education ị kwesị all the private school ị party nakwa with them o nwekwa ebe isi enyela ofe aka ụgwọ akwụkwọ ebe nata parents nya maka ebe school tele aka o merie ị na-partner with them emelite ụgwọ akwụkwọ ndị nkuzi. Then school enwe vocational school na ọgbarụ ebe a na-akụzi ma ndị ngwọrọ ma ihe a mana Soludo amara anything about it. Esi m education Oscar nya enyere 30 Oscar kwamia 20 because much is given is much is expected. Nyanwa bụ prọfesọ mana oke campaign ya nụnwa niile ọ na-eme ọ gwara anyị that smart school okwuro profession or vocational year o metụ aka maka technology nya o metụrụ aka maka higher institution anyị wee n'oke anyị wee so many things ụmụ anyị dị ịga o metụtara aka ka okpoku nata ụmụaka ndị nwe nya ndị dị talented ka brush afa up o mere so ya na-agwa unu bụ fun city Fun City akedo ndị lụrụ ọ bụrụ na ọ zụpụta ụmụ by they will build more than that thing. Ndị be dị talented right from birth. Onyanwa bụ education. Ihe nyedere ya bụ 20. O nwere ihe ọ skọl. Mana Dr. George Moghala abịa gwa unu mention vacation, mention technology. Mana the issue dị there bụ ndị be anyị ana n'ego. Vote onye chọrọ ka unu chenjie. Ọ bụrụ onye nwakwuru okwu ọsị na ọ sị na ọ na-agba first ọ dị repeat class. Ịma na ọ bịa second term ma na o repeat go class. And being professional, being ịmakwa ihe ọ bụ prọfesọ Nwamgbafọ. Ọ bịa kụziela anyị ka ịmakwa na edukeshọn na ị ga-etrenu mmadụ ma mana then ọ na-akọ ọnụ ebe ọ pụta na ọkpalịa mmadụ ya ka ị ga-akụziri ụmụ akwụkwọ ọnya bụ edukeshọn. So o nwere so many lapses ikwu ọkọ ọgọ ọnụ a na-eplezi match ị na-enye anyị ịrapịa ọ na-achọ otu o si afọ straight ọ na-asị ụzọ building onofulu ide ime na Nnewi na spare part onofu nke mee na inland onofu nke ọ na-eji Enugu otu ọkwa ụzọ Soludo is working onofu n'ihe ala ụzọ ọchịkụ na-akwata ndị ọbụla ọlụkwa inclusiveness ka o kpokunata na iwinira na ihe a na ibugo onye Anambra dị n'ọsị unu na ọ bụ na gịnị ya nọrọ na pati na gịnị ya ma nlụkọ ọnya bụ na ndị sineti ma ndị honorable nya na ya nọ o wezi onye that gap ka o je develop school dị na be ha o nwere onye that very gap school dị n'ime obodo ọ sị gị na ọ bụ prọfesọ. I rest my case.
All right, Nkiru. You know, if you have the whole day, the whole time, you have something to say in favor of good governance and against the present administration of Professor Chukwuma Soludo. And again, in favor of onye na-promote Tinubu, George Moghala. George Moghala ya abịakwa na this ọgbakọ by this time tomorrow, so that ka anyị gbaa ya ajụjụ ọnụ ka ọ were ọnụ ya kwuru ọ bụ ọzụzụ ọsọ gị nwa ya ga na-ekwu Nkiru ọ ga-abịa hia agba ya ajụjụ ọnụ.
Ọ bụrụ tomorrow Friday.
Echi ọrụ Friday.
Tata bụ gịnị?
Taa Thursday.
Echi bụ Friday.
Echi bụ Friday now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry I have not contributed today. Na ọrụ dụkwa m lisi na ọrụ ekenyere m Chineke kenyere m ka m na-arụkwa.
Na-alụsi ike. No, ihe metara fire to fire.
Na ike gwụrụ.
Oh, fire to fire.
It is well.
So,
but I enjoyed the entire contribution from everybody.
Do you want to contribute your own now?
Mana I promise to be available by tomorrow. Especially education. Education is very disappointing na Anambra State. I want to babu first kita mo amazi ebe anyị nọ. Anyị na-agabu international competition na-emerizi. Amazi m ebe anyị nọ. It is well.
33.
Ihe niile nọ n'aka solution.
Ka erigwu nke afọ erigi bụ ọha erigi data enyela anyị. If you erigi data erigi.
Adim sure ihe mere na abroad.
Comrade.
I have only APC erigi there. That will win the election.
Comrade, see, I have, just like I told you before, I have serious reservation about this thing. You and I know the sample methodology.
Queen,
all that convincing,
okay.
But you and I know that the methodology around that survey is not all that honorific. But for me, I keep saying it. Just like I said it on Anambra First platform. It's an opportunity for those things for what I call soul searching. Do you understand?
Yes.
If something is not broken, you don't need to mend it. For the fact they allocated us that we're going down. It's an opportunity for self-introspection. So, Oborife, I get you where Jenoborg, let us look at what we are not getting right in the last 2-3 years and perfect it. That's the challenges of government, because you must, as a government, appreciate people that have the honor of criticizing you. They want you to work. Opportunity we're supposed to use to make correction and move ahead, we use it to quarrel and contest. So all these things, for me, the point is, let us fix home educationally.
Exactly.
And in every sector. Yeah.
Exactly. That is the summary of it all. Kaidozie by, and that is what the good governance is here. We are not here to antagonize anybody or to go against anybody or to pioneer propaganda against anybody just to make money. No. But we are here to, engage you, be objective, criticize you, constructive criticism. You got to go, if I discuss maka education now. Years ago, under Obiano, I engaged him, Obiano. There was one Bros Masco model, he called it model secondary school beside Ngozika Housing Estate. When this school building, when he started or when he gave the contract to construct that school, I wrote personal email to him. In the email, I told him that there is a need to standardize public schools in Anambra State. Standardize the operation of public school. The difference between public schools and private school is just the environment, branding and packaging. Rebrand and package these public schools to make it attractive so that middle class can send their children to public schools. Apart from the environment, if you talk about the teachers, public schools were better trained teachers, more qualified teachers than the private schools. And of course, public schools now salary more than the private schools. Their pay package is guaranteed. But in private school, you could be sacked, So all what you do is package, rebrand, then supervision. Then one a lot of public school around Ngozika Housing Estate, he named the school model secondary school, primary school. So I expected Obiano. Then in the email exchange, he gave instruction to one of his PAs when the argument came on board. When in fact, I sustained the argument that in Anambra State here, I've never seen a government official, all these PAs, commissioners, sending their children to public secondary school in Anambra State. So I threw up a challenge that if there should be such person, governor people should name the person. Then governor's PA told me that, yeah, it's not a must that will send our children to public school. That is a matter of choice. This is what somebody in government is saying. So in education policy, what I expected to see is this. When a governor comes on board, he will announce that anybody that wants to work with me should be ready to send his children, his relatives to public schools. Peter will be through that challenge that his son will be in public school. But when he became the governor, he noticed that there was no opposition. That is exactly what Henry is saying. That is disappointed with the level of opposition we have in this election because we are not seeing enough. We are not seeing enough discussion. All what we are seeing is a corner. No, apart from few of them, like when Dr. Kingsley Mogalo comes up here, you of course you yourself will confirm that the man is loaded. You know, the man is talking, but you know your ability to talk is you having enough platform and enough
Abura
money.
Kingsley, Dr. George, and not Kingsley, George
Okay,
Mon.
sorry, Dr. George Mogalo, sorry. So is your ability to be heard is how loaded you are to pay all these media, big conventional media platforms, and they pay new people that will carry your message around. So it's not like the man wasn't talking, wasn't discussing issues. He was discussing issues. So na-akọ ọnụ. Ndị na-akọ ọnụ bụ APC and APGA. Of course, yeah, Ifuba ebe Labour Party and Soludo na-akọ ọnụ. Kama ọ chọọ ịkọgodo ọnụ, na Peter Obi ka ọ ya akọ ọnụ. Maka Peter Obi wụ Peter Obi wụ his only fear and the only person ọ na-atụ ụjọ nwee ike ime the result. Or go the other way round. So tackle on about Peter and no other person. So what I'm trying to say is that you need a lot of money and you need the platform for you to pass your message to the people. That is why GGM is providing this platform for ndị enwewere ike ịdị na-ekwu okwu a na-anụ unu for too much. Chioma Ifemeredika, onye ezi Owere of AAC, we will see hosting here. She will come here to talk to the people, you know. So what I'm saying in effect is that public schools, and when you fed on a public school now brought a repackage, a rebrand there. But what I've noticed with these guys in government is that they have no interest. Nobody should convince me. When nobody should convince me on this. And when they interest, they don't have interest. Because what? They are children. Look at them. Soludo money in on UK. Amara ma ụmụ nwanne nwunye niile ụmụ ya niile n'obodo oyibo. So ndị na-alụlụ ya ọlụ, I can't just mention any of them kịta. Chief of staff ya UK ka o beze. Ọ mee na UK ka o si nata ụmụ ya nọ ebe afọ. SAG Prọfesọ Chukwuelu Bello UK ka o si nata ụmụ ya nọ ebe afọ, just like Obianọ chisi anyị pụọ. Obianọ ụmụ ya adịghị nwaanyị medical doctor ka ọ bụ na America, nwa nwoke America ka ọ nọ. Ịfụrụ ka ọ chisi na chietakwa azụ ebe afọ. So ha nwere interest atọ na oyibo anyị na-asụ ma argument ihe anyị na-ekwukọta ebe ị na-asị the children of the poor public school. Because can see this argument with ndị otu Obianọ, Udoma and these guys ain't any plan for us. Okay, that model secondary school, primary school, go there now. If you know the amount government spent on that building of that facility there, if we structure all there, that thing, you will cry for these criminals in government. They spend so much money, but go there now and see how messed up that place is. Of course, they not got their own met. Even Airbnb, distance from Airbnb to that place, if you want to walk, it's not more than 15 minutes to get to that school. But I can bet you that 90% of parents in Ngozi housing estate still send their kids to private school where they pay above 100,000 naira per term. Man, that public school is free. It's free. Maybe your Ozi and headmaster something and all those whatnot. They want 5,000 or 2,000 naira to get your child registered. It's 5,000. But parents, including myself, prefer get a private school. One nago 695,000 naira a term. Just a term. 195,000 naira. No here. Then government has said textbook. No, don't do this. You know that textbook. In fact, textbook budget can like 80,000. And 80,000. I'm gonna get the list of those textbooks that added up to that 80,000. I said no, not for the whole year. not for the whole year. So I don't have right to know the list of textbooks because you should have the list now. Publish the list, send the list to the parents so that the parents will know what they are paying for. This one, I gave you the money. You said you will buy the textbooks. Give me the textbooks. You said no, we should not know the textbook. Yet, so Soludo commissioner said no more schools buying textbooks for uh, pupils, that all parents will buy it, and no more writing inside the textbooks. Because if you have 3 kids, 1, 2, 3, 1 go see and care, 80,000 or 50,000 half equal, condemned. 2, am I use here where I go? Oya Olukwen and 2 ego, Ugokwe exactly the same thing 1 year ago. Which kind of system is that? Yet, I'm a governor who is not interested on looking at all those things. Or commissioner and I. And perhaps we have a professor as the governor. People will say that our governor gave me any non-water commissioner. But see him back, just his speech alone, that speech on that few days ago. Just that presentation. I knew Obgon and the man then the man spoke from his heart. Like I said, go and listen to that speech. That is how a leader. A leader not compassionate. A leader in a few you feel it. You feel it. I'm a mom wake up on but also that he grew up. He grew up from ghetto, from the basis, from the street, and a witness here the suffering, what people are passing through. First hand, and call. Is it only him? Soludo was from poor background. It's so fair here. The father was co-worker. The mother died when Soludo was 6 years. He went to Gaboys. So from the village, he's a village boy. So when he has the opportunity of being the governor, this is what I expected him to do. But he's not doing that. And whoever that is saying that second tenor, if he wins, that he will change, go and write it somewhere there, go and record it. He will not change anything. In fact, he will not do anything more than or better than he has done. He will not do. But I want to challenge anybody that is supporting him. No problem. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see that he will do you better in second tenor. Historically, Ochiche Mmabu nọ na first tenor. Ọ na-eme ọfụma so that people will be in love with him. Make a mistake like this, or see correct here. But it's Oludo telling you anything. The only thing on our wagon and where I am as a governor. All to anyway, I'm not here to castigate him or to condemn him as a person, but I'm only saying that what he has done is his first term in office. I am not satisfied as a person. And based on record, based on what I've seen, I don't think he will do anything better in second term. The only thing he will do in second term is to expand his business empire. All this industrial village and industrial parks on our towards Obu and that Obu side.
Nanka side, yeah.
Oboji, all those things on our there. The flyover on our all those things lead to his business empire because because his friends and others will have their build their empire for that will service his old age and his children, When people like that are doing something, look at it. Look at what their plans. Because there was a time I wanted to go to that side and see what is going on. But when I ask questions like this, I was told to forget about that side. There, people will tell you that this so commissioner has bought 200 plus there. So person bought estate. People are speculating for land, selling lands in the name of building estate. But for 4 years, no estate has been developed. Apart from this one, Millennium Estate. Millennium Estate, was it not Obiano that initiated it? I've not seen anyone initiated by Soludo. Maybe somebody should tell me, and completed under these 4 years. Who is telling you that you cannot build an estate within 2 years? Erufai developed Abuja. Somebody will tell me that there's so much money in Abuja. But there are things you do, investors will come in. When you handle the security, investors will have confidence. Or having a secure state, is it a rocket science? Because when this administration was starting, I wrote an article on how even this agitation will start. Wrote it, forwarded it to Soludo, forwarded it to people that matters. How insecurity and agitation can be addressed. But because they are too big now, they will not listen to you. What do you know? What do you know? And today, agitation and insecurity is everywhere. So anyway, I think we've uh, we've exhausted our time, and we've handled almost everything that we needed to discuss. So let me give us opportunity to, as a way of closing, our closing remark from Henry. Henry, just a few minutes, say your closing remark. And note that this program is for every day. Every day, we are using this platform to educate our people, because it has come to my notice that people are not informed. Even the so-called educated people, they are not just informed. That is the truth. People are out of good governance. Oh yeah, but Governor Lobelus and then mother and now. So we've just dedicated this platform for with time, yeah, for people will start coming. Uh, about more than 1,000 people are watching us through our social media, our Facebook and our YouTube. After this program, more than 1,000 will still go through this, our content, our discussion. So we'll continue having this discussion every now and then. So thank you. So here is a way of your closing remark, just a minute or so.
Hello, okay. Good evening, viewers, and my able comrade. Thanks for having me. I don't have much to say. It's just that I want to reiterate, as you said earlier, that time has come for what we call citizen participation in governance. It is no longer fashionable to be sitting on the fence while we allow our second 11 or third 11, people that some of us are even better than, to determine our fate. So I'm using the opportunity to tell our people to be conscious and deliberate and be very, very demanding of our leaders. Let us hold our leaders to account. Let's follow them, talk to them, make sure that they are doing what is expected of them. That is the only way we can take ourselves out of poverty, grow ourselves, educate ourselves, and move on to that next level quest. Thank you. That's my take. Thank you very much.
Right, Terry, thank you so much for having now is a lot of sacrifice to be here at least for an hour. We've been around for an hour, and we hope you'll be back tomorrow. Thank you. Nkirungwa.
ndị be anyị daalụnụ. Na dịka a na-ekwu taa, ihe anyị na-ekwu bụ nwa mbụ agbụrụ ịdọ ọdụ ọma njekwa ije. Na Anambra, ọ dịkwa unu n'aka. Mmadụ bịa kpọọ onwe ya ọlụ atụ egwu, onye na-enecha onwe ya ọmaka ya bad. Ndị Anambra, ihe nchọ ka anyị kwuo bụ unu ekwezina ka awọli ya unu maka 10 naira, 55 naira, 30,000. Ka anyị rapụ ilezi conscience anyị. Ndị Anambra bụ the light of the nation. Anyị ga-ebido onye bata first tenor, o metere ọfụma, second tenor anyị oche azụ onye ọzọ atara kwa. And anyị ga-akwụsị ịna ego. Ọ ga-abụ onye chịba ọchịtara, anyị pụtakwa na platform otu apịasụba onye a. Onye ọbụla pụta November 8 ka ije tụalụ gịnị Labour Party ka anyị try kwa onye ọzọ, ka anyị try ya papa mama pikin. Ọ mmadụ ga-ejide ọkụkọ gbuo, mmadụ ga-eji aịza zaa ụlọ. Ị ga-enegoro ihe achọ bụ onye bụ visionary leader, a good listener, onye dị compassionate, ihe na-eme ndị ọ na-ewutie. Anambra daalụ.
Thank you. Ebugolo Otimbo. Sorry for the voice now, but I hear. Ebugolo Otimbo George. Anyway, GGM Ambassador Kakebo, they promote the message of good governance na local places. That really. Wait, then when you here before I close?
I welcome much style, like I said. By tomorrow, I'll be mentally prepared. I didn't prepare today.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.
Everybody, good night. And thank you
Good
for
night.
being here. Yeah, good night.